Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ask Flora. This week's question comes from Marcy, and she writes, Hey Flora, thanks for taking my question. I've been following you for a long time and know that you recently went through a lot of stuff in your life. Your divorce, your father dying, etc. But you never seem to let that get you down. Can you share your tips on how to bounce back after a loss or big change? Thanks. Marcy from California. Well, thanks, Marcy. That's a fabulous question, and thanks for the kudos. Now, one thing that really helps to bounce back after a loss of any kind is to recognize the natural stages of grief and the natural progression of any type of change or transition. Now, not only to just honor and recognize them, but be willing to navigate through them without resistance. Now, there's generally 5 to 7 stages of grief or transition, and they are shock or disbelief, denial, anger, bargaining, guilt, depression, and then also acceptance and hope. And now you mentioned that it seems like that I never let these life events get me down. Well, one of the things I've always been is a optimistic, and I've also been a realist. But any time that I've gone through any type of event in my life that has been really big, I've always sought out either a therapist or a coach. And the reason being is because, even though I'm a coach myself, I still need a support system in place to help me keep my perspective, because when we start to or try to navigate challenging situations, it's very easy to get lost in translation or to get lost in what we think we know instead of what really is. And sometimes our ego can get the best of us. And so I would encourage anyone going through a challenging time to just recognize that there are these stages, and these aren't just textbook stages. These really are the natural stages of emotion and transition and grief and loss. And when you give yourself permission to honor those stages and to navigate through them without resistance, just owning each of the stages as you're in it. And then also giving yourself permission to seek out a therapist or coach who specializes in this type of transition. If it's the death of someone, if it's a divorce, if it's a job change, or something else in your life that you feel the weight of that coming down on you, I would highly recommend that you seek out someone that specializes in those transitions to help you really see the big picture and help you to embrace that change and that shift in your life. And when you do this, what happens is you really start to feel more in control. You really start to relax into the situation. And doing that just really helps you navigate through it so that it doesn't feel like the end of the world. So that is my recommendation. Anyone going through any type of loss or transition or change, and if you feel that you're not neutral, if you feel that it's just too much, I would highly recommend seeking out a therapist or a coach that specializes in navigating through these 5 to 7 stages of grief. It's sometimes not the easiest to seek out therapy, because in the past, therapy has been seen sometimes as a little bit taboo, but I learned early on, starting at the age of 12 when my mom passed away, how beneficial therapy or coaching can be. So that is my answer to your question. I hope that it helps not only you, but anyone else who is interested in how to navigate through challenging situations with grace and ease. If you have a question for these Ask Flora segments, please email me, flora@florasage.com, and I will be happy to add you to the queue. Until next time, bye-bye.